we asked you, if you had that match to run again, what would you do differently, and would you have gone back to flat back four much earlier?
Yeah, you know, I think you can reflect after a game and analyse it and say, you know, if we take one of the chances, that question probably doesn't need to be asked, but we didn't, and there's various things we could have done. You know, there's various things we could have done, and I think we as I explained, that we pushed James McLean to the left, we pushed Robbie Brady into the 10, we pushed Alan Brown on the right, and to give us extra penetration, we introduced Shane Long, introduced Troy Parra. But none of the 5 players that we introduced, you know, that's what we're saying, they're not playing at their clubs. They're hardly, you know, playing bits and pieces. They're not playing regularly, playing bits and pieces. But it's it's just been an unfortunate time with injuries for them, but for a couple of them. But I think, maybe, you know, I have to accept criticism. I picked a system and we lost, so I can't, you know, it's you know, it's not a system that I always play, as you know. I traditionally play with a back four majority of the time. We just felt with the wide players that were sort of unavailable or not fit or haven't played recently at all, to expect them to start was a bit too ambitious. You know, you're not getting those players at full tilt. You're getting fellas that have just rocked up, haven't hardly trained. So you have to sort of weigh that up and pick players who are playing or who are at least training all the time and who are playing, and some of them are very good players playing in positions that they're accustomed to. But you know, ultimately, we didn't do enough tonight. You know, I can't sit here and say we were very unlucky, because that wouldn't be the case. It was pretty, you know, we had more chances than they did, but we should be creating more than we did. You know, we should be creating more than we did, and you know, I think that's very disappointing.
Thanks, Stephen.
Neil O'Riordan, please.
Hi, Stephen. You mentioned there about not being worried about your own position. Can I just ask you where that comes from? Is that from reassurances or conversations you've had with the FAI? Because obviously, when there is a shock result like this, it does kind of lead to a manager's position being questioned. And you know, probably the last comparable result was a draw in Cyprus at home, which resulted in the team's responsibility.
Well, I think it's not something it's not something I'm focusing on. You know, from my point of view, I can't affect that. I think that, it's not something that I'm focusing on at all. So, I have. We all have setbacks, at various times, and I have absolute conviction in that I'm capable of doing a very good job here. But on tonight's evidence, that doesn't back it up tonight, and I do realise that, you know what I mean, and we have to do a hell of a lot better than that, and we didn't than we did tonight.
And to what extent do you think public opinion plays a part in the job you have now? I don't mean in terms of how you do it, but in terms of the perception of you and buy-in to what you're doing. And do you think you face a tough task to convince people of your own belief that you can do the job?
Yeah, well, I absolutely. It's not. I don't think it's up to me to convince people. I think what we've got to do is just get better results now, and better performances, and I think that's, it's not for me to. I think we've just got to. We've another game now on Tuesday. We've just got to go again, and over the campaign we've got to do a lot better. I think than we did tonight. As I said, I thought the performance against Serbia was excellent, but ultimately, we didn't win, and so it's just tonight. It's just a real kick. It is a real setback for us. Like, and I'm not denying that. There's no getting away from that. But we just have to I'll have to accept the criticism, to be honest with you, and that comes out my way. Like, and certainly fight harder. To do better, and so that'll be my intention.
Okay, only a couple of minutes left. So Paul Lennon and then Emmett Malone, please.
Stephen, you spoke there about the fact that you didn't feel there was enough pace in the team earlier on in some of your interviews, but you left the central two players on. Was it not an area of the pitch you felt you should have changed earlier? And you made your changes late as well. Are you reacting a bit too late in games to what's going on the pitch?
Well, I think we made obviously one at half time, one on 60 minutes, and what was Shane with 70 or before, that was it. You mean centre forward or centre midfield? What were you talking there?
Midfield, central midfield. There's Josh and Jason.
Yeah, I felt Josh. I know Jason was very good did well on the night. Jason Knight, to be fair, and covered a huge amount of ground and showed a lot of energy and did okay. Did fairly okay on the night. Josh probably didn't get to the levels he was at the other night probably, and that's but he provides he's the type of player, obviously, because we went with a back three and we had Josh and we had James McLean high on the left then, and we had Alan Brown high on the right. So he does level that off from a balance point of view in a way that the other midfield players are not don't have those characteristics. So that would be that would be the reason there.
Just one more from me. Thanks, Stephen. The FAI has shown a lot of faith in you. Last year they brought you in slightly ahead of schedule because that was the plan. They've been completely behind you, you believe they still are. But do you think that maybe what has happened in the 10 games, what happened tonight, that maybe they might begin to think maybe of looking to somebody else to manage the senior team?
Well, I can't influence that, but I think I only have to make sure that we we improve over the next period, and that's certainly my intention.
And we'll end with Emmett Malone, please.
Stephen, hi. Listen, just in terms of improving, what do you think is a reasonable expectation now for the rest of the campaign?
It's too early to say. It's just 2 games. I think tonight. A win tonight would have put us on 3 points, and it's a bad result tonight. We can't get away with that. Like, it's hurting us. It's hurt us. So we've just got to. There's still a lot of football to be played, and I think a lot of the teams will. I sort of felt Luxembourg and Azerbaijan are both capable of taking points off us all, and I think I'm probably seeing that with Portugal's 1-0 narrow win against Azerbaijan at home. So I think it's we just have to focus, dust ourselves down and go again. Go again. Obviously, it's not an ideal start. I'm not trying to dress it up as it is, as anything else. It's a poor start, but we just got to dust ourselves down and go again. And make sure that we improve. Make sure that we improve.
And do you believe the qualification is still an attainable prospect, or is this about the team improving and about achieving a respectable finish in the group?
Well, again, it's only 2 games out of 8, so a lot of football still to be played, and
sorry, I don't mean to be disrespectful. Just that there's so little room for margin for error 14 group in one place automatically.
Yeah, listen, we've given ourselves a lot to do. There's no doubt about that. I'm not trying to, but obviously, depending on, we're unlikely to, of course, to win the group, but we still have to try and work hard to put ourselves into, to try and put ourselves back in contention. Obviously, with the 3-game window in September, that'll be very important, and that will. There's 9 points to play for there, so we just have to try and get the maximum amount of points that we can in that window.